So hi guys, again back to Aquascape lab, but this time is going to be very different. If you see behind me, that's Talwar Farms, and he is the pilot for the entire spaceship, which I'm going to talk about in a while.
Welcome to Talwar Farms, Khatima. We are somewhere in Uttarakhand, very close, about 5-6 kilometers from the Nepal border, and let's take you for a tour of our farms. Come.
It's going to be brilliant. So while I'm just walking towards the beautiful concept that Rahul has created, so Rahul, can you just talk about a little bit more, how does this concept come in, and what exactly are you doing here?
So Talwar Farms, basically this is a farm which is more than 50 years old. Me and my partner, we have set up a fishery here. Okay, so couple and me, I'm Rahul, and we started this project post-Corona. You know, Corona had impacted us big time. Both of us were corporate slaves. We had our own training businesses,
Right.
and consulting businesses. We spent over 2 decades in the corporates. But then, recession set in, and we were thinking, what should be done to sustain ourselves, and how meaningfully we can engage in something new. So when we did some research, we realized that one of the fastest growing business in the world, amongst the top 5 actually, is fisheries. So that's when we decided to set up a fishery. This is Udham Singh Nagar's largest fishery,
Wow.
biofloc.
Wow.
We have about 55 tanks here, which are all biofloc, set up in about 2 acres of land out here.
So if I just span here and show you the background, and that's all. I mean, all the number of tanks that you just mentioned are here, and we're going to take you there.
Yeah. So we started this project. There were a lot of myths around biofloc fishery. In fact, in some part of North India, people could never really take it off the project. So it is in a way, sarcastically known as bioflop.
Wow.
Because so many of these bioflocs have failed in this country. The difference in a biofloc fishery and a normal fishery is that biofloc is actually not in a pond. These are tanks which are above the ground. This is 2 meter in diameter, and we simulate the flock in it, which is the pond environment. So similar environment, that's in a pond, and that's where we grow the fishes. So it is actually beneficial for the environment because we save almost 30 to 40% water as compared to what a natural fishery does. And if the environment is controlled, we are able to provide more nutrition and have healthier fishes because we control what we feed them. Having said that, and by the way, we've recently, in 1.5 years of our existence, we've recently won the United Nations Development Program's UNDP Goalkeeper Award for our fishery. And last month we won the Best Fishery Award for the state, for the district from the government.
Wow.
So that's one. The other thing that we do, which is very unique, is we also are into ornamental fish farming.
That is where my interest comes in.
So we are North India's only ornamental fish farming or fish growing farm, and we started this about 6 months back. We're excited with the result we have, and we'll show you the results for yourself.
Yep. And in fact, I'll just go back to what he just said. And I mean, if you've seen my workshops, if you've seen my videos, the Aquascape Lab cubes and what we do in the workshops, we try to do exactly the same thing in a very small scale. So he's talking about like 55 tanks. How many gallons each, or how many liters each?
It's about 2,500 liters.
Whoa. So we're talking about like scaling down it to like 37 liters. That's what goes in my cube. And for beginners, I think it's basically the foundation stone to come up to a level like this. This is like a pro level kind of thing. But I think, and that's really that's the reason it actually grew my interest to actually come here and try to figure out how amazing and exciting it would be to actually see the same thing at such a large scale. And I'll show you some underwater footages, and I've seen the fishes already, but I'm going to show it to you again. but this is just something beautiful. So give us like in the next frame we're going to talk about more about it. We're going to have a lot of good discussions around, because if I am not wrong, you also have that hobby of aquascaping,
yes,
right?
so
Can you
I'm
talk
a-
more about it?
So
Yeah.
I'm an aquascaper myself. I've been doing aquascapes now over 3 years, and I work with driftwoods. And what I do is I combine different type of driftwoods and
Wow.
create an art form which reflects as a separate story in itself inside the scape. So I usually work with hardscapes, and that's it.
Wow, that's amazing. We're gonna talk about more and see some of his creations in the upcoming video as well, because I have planned a session with him at the Aquascape lab, and I'm going to tell you when it is happening, so that you can book your visit on the same day. So, next frame. So guys, that's again, hey Rahul.
Hi. So let's go in and have a look at the farm we have.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
Come.
Wow. And that's Aquascaper's dream, I swear.
So this is a part of what we have. We have more tanks on the other side. There's more there, about 55 of them. And these are the larger tanks that we have. These are the 2-meter diameter tanks. These hold about 12,000 liters of water. And these are the smaller ones, which are for ornamental fishes. These hold about 1,000 liters of water, right? So you can actually see our goldfishes here.
Yep.
So if you see, we have simulated again the environment of a natural pond, even for ornamental fishes.
So these, if I'm not wrong, these are water hydrants, right?
Yes.
But
yes.
so these are deliberately put.
Yes, they have been deliberately put so as to simulate a natural condition, so that they feel at home, and also they can hide behind these.
Yeah.
So when they're younger, they're smaller, they're much more scared than what they are when they grow up. So they get hiding spaces in which actually is good for them.
But do this water hyphen also help in breeding?
It does, because they get space. Again, they get to hide. They are at peace. The stress levels go down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your point? I mean, what is your take on, like, if I want to keep this goldfish at home? So I think the goldfishes that I saw here are approximately 3 to 4 inches.
Let me see if I can
Yeah.
show you some. They're difficult to catch them actually.
Yeah. I mean that. In fact, it's like the more agile the fishes are, that actually shows the
So
the
see,
quality
again,
of
I was
the
talking
fishes.
about hiding. So if you see, I put this in and they've all gone and hidden behind.
Exactly, because they've hidden
the
it.
hiding spaces.
But that's fine. I mean, we would
I
not.
can't see them, so let's
That's
not disturb
fantastic.
them.
Yeah, let's not disturb them.
Because
But
I
I get
can't
the
see
idea.
them.
But my question comes is like for a new beginner who wants to keep a goldfish in a natural environment. Because see, now the concept is a lot of changing. I mean, that's what I'm also trying to bring in the awareness that come out of that plastic plants and actually use fresh plants. And if you look at water hyphen is, I mean, it's a weed. But you actually see that it plays a role in the ecosystem that you're creating. So what is your take on it? I mean, can this be replicated at home? And if yes, how?
Yes, so I'll tell you what. One, there's a huge misconception that, especially for people who keep goldfishes, that you can keep 2 goldfishes in a bowl. That whole idea is wrong. That's too less a space for 2 goldfishes. 1 foot by 1 foot cube maybe is ideal to keep 2 goldfishes, or let's say 4 or 5 guppies or mollies. people flood them in that small space, they do not grow. Their stress level increases. So yes, it's a good idea to simulate that. However, the temperature that you maintain, the light conditions that you have, the oxygen that you're providing plays a major role in deciding how you would sustain the plants.
Right.
So yes, there are aquatic plants available, and those aquatic, so for goldfishes usually you don't need a high-tech plant. You can take a low-tech and they grow without carbon dioxide.
Right.
And if you see, we don't use carbon dioxide, it's all natural oxygen.
Yep. And that's why I exactly was just surprised. I mean, the way
Yeah. So you can.
it's just the basic aeration that is happening.
Basic aeration, you need to keep the ammonia levels down, you need to keep the pH levels right. And it's not a difficult hobby, as we know. It's just that it needs some dedication. It needs you to give some time. You just can't have 2 fishes and just leave them. That we'll just feed them and it's up. No, it's not that. Feeding is just one very small portion of this hobby. Upkeeping of that tank and keeping your fish healthy is the larger part of the whole tank. It's like having a dog.
Absolutely.
So you spend so much of time with that grooming. So grooming is also a part of it. The grooming is a little different with fishes.
One thing that I've noticed is like you've created some kind of shade here, and it's not an open tank. Do you feel that temperature makes a lot of difference?
So of course, all the fishes, especially ornamental fishes, different types of ornamental fishes require different kind of temperatures to be healthy. That is because most of them come from different parts of the world. Some are from Amazon, some are from India, some are from different countries. They're from different temperature zones. The more you simulate those zones, the better it is for them to survive. And again, I'm taking examples of dogs again. So Alaskan Husky, for example, is a cold weather dog. So if you bring it to India Husky and put it in heat, that's why people keep it at home in ACs or in coolers.
Absolutely.
So that they are comfortable. Similarly here, goldfishes usually survive, or let's say if you have kois can survive in any kind of condition, whether it's cold or it's hot. But 24 degrees is what is usually ideal for fishes to survive.
Right.
And even in winters, we need to maintain that temperature.
Just out of curiosity, I feel that this is not a very big tank. I mean, this is what? How many liters?
Yeah, so this is a 1,000-liter tank.
Okay.
This is specifically designed and created by us, first time in India.
Wow.
For ornamental fishes, because we do not need a 12,500-liter tank for ornamental fishes. This is where we can control the tank better. Also, the smaller it is, in 1,000 liters, I can control the temperature even in winters, because I can put heaters in it and control those. Are very difficult for us to control temperatures. So that's why we came up with this idea that let's have smaller tanks where we can control the water temperature and parameter much better than what we are able to do with the larger tanks.
Right. And do you feel that the selection of the place that you have chosen, like Khatima for instance, that you have chosen here, the average temperature is also helping you out? Because
the temperatures are very much like plains.
Okay.
We are not, if you see, we are not on hills. We are in Uttarakhand, but we are on plains. Winters are a little more intense, but winters are intense, let's say, in Delhi as well. I don't think that has a major role to play.
Okay.
Because the fishes that we have, even here, basa and sole and all, they grow well in all kinds of temperature except for winters. So winters is when is our main season.
Great.
But the ornamental fishes, we maintain them in winters with heaters.
With heaters, okay,
Yes.
okay. So can you just tell me how what all fishes? So I've seen a big lot of goldfishes.
We have a lot more goldfishes here, orange and black.
Yeah.
And we've got them as spawns. So there's few fishes that grow from spawns, and there are few fishes which give eggs.
Yeah.
So they're different.
Like guppies would spawn and
so guppies give birth to babies.
Yeah.
Okay. We got the guppies as spawns, and also got guppies as adult guppies for breeding, and they multiply like.
I know.
Fut, right? So we have thousands and thousands of them.
Whoa.
Black goldfishes.
And I think I'm in the wrong timing at this time, but I'll definitely take some underwater video for our viewers. But if you can just talk more about what else you have. I think there is one pond which is full of guppies.
It's too dark right now.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at. So one full 12,000 liters of tank full of guppies and mollies.
Whoa, I would want to dive into that tank one.
Maybe
Oh my god.
see it in the morning.
No, that's fine.
And-
I'll
and
do
we
an
have-
underwater.
Otherwise, we have edible fishes. So we have basa, which is pengaceous, pangas also it's called, and we have sole fishes as well. We also have 4 ponds, by the way,
Oh wow,
dug in. So,
awesome. We'll definitely have a look at it.
and at that corner in the extreme right side, if you can see, that's our hospital tank.
Oh, nice.
So we have a hospital tank again the same size, where if there are fishes,
Quarantine tank.
quarantine tank, if they're not well, we quarantine them out and
Very
put
nice.
them there.
So hi guys, again back into conversation with Aquascape Lab and Talwar Farms. We've seen some major similarities between the hobby and, I mean, if I look at my kids, the reason I wanted to take that video is that this is an hobby which makes you learn so much that if you want to extend it to a full-time, job, this is what you can actually do, and that's the reason it really excited me to come here and talk about it. And I'm so fortunate that Rahul from Talwar Farms is here, and he's talking about, he's giving so much of information with sharing with us. So Rahul, just to continue our conversation there, and we talked about some ornamental fishes that you have, and then obviously the edible fishes that you have. Do you feel, I mean, that's what I'm saying, like, and the reason I'm asking is this because a lot of workshops that I attend are actually attended by kids which are average age around 10 to 12 years old. And a lot of parents ask me these questions that does this hobby has got any future? And I can definitely clearly see a future here, but can you talk a little more in front of, I mean, if I am actually taking this hobby at a very early age, do you feel that these kids, if they take up this hobby right now, do you feel that they can actually get into this kind of field at a later stage?
Yes, well, I told you how Kapil and I, after over 2 decades in the corporate, decided one day to do this at in our 40s, right? Imagine if somebody starts early. There are a lot of things that can be done. While as a hobbyist, it's a very different thing, but converting it into a passion is a different story altogether. Aquascaping is very new in this country.
Yeah.
Scaping has huge potential. It's a very creative thing. So children who have a creative bent of mind, who have a right brain, should look into this, because there are so many. If you go out, there's so many different scenic places that we
Natural
see.
beauty,
You know?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
for example, Ladakh is very different as a cold desert. Kashmir is very different. And whatever you see and you like, you can replicate that into a small tank.
Exactly.
Whether it's a 1 feet by 1 feet or a 6 feet by 3 feet.
Right.
Imagine what you like, you're converting that into a scape inside a cube,
Absolutely.
with all the elements of plants
Nature.
and trees and stones which the nature holds, and you have live fishes in it. It's a different ballgame. It's like a 3D of a dream that you have seen. It definitely has scope, because in India there are very few aquascapists who are really good at it, and most of them are very popular actually.
In fact, I also wanted to ask you something, which was I was in conversation with a person who was a psychologist, and he came to mind. He had this hobby of doing this, and he said, "Yeah, you know what, Varun? Somewhere down the line, I feel that this hobby not only helps some group of people with their health issues and all, but mentally." Do you feel that, or have you actually experienced? I think you have some.
See, pets do have that soothing effect, whether it's fishes or dogs actually. So dogs are known to have that effect on people, where they become companions. Similarly,
But like for example, me, the problem, I love dogs, but I have an allergy. I have an allergy with the dog fur, and then that's the reason why my kids would want to go over. But this is something which is such a controlled environment, even if you don't want a pet. I feel that, I mean, this is something which we can help these families where they want to keep a pet.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. The only thing is, you will have to care for these as much as you care for any other pet. Also, while we all know that fishes don't interact, but you'll be surprised when it's time for them to feed and you walk into the room, all of them come, running towards you.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting. In fact, a fish like flower horn, it actually reacts to your finger movements and it will go where you want it to go. It's like a dog.
Yeah. And then in our like aquascaping, I mean, when we have plants and all, you have tetras and all, they school together.
Yes.
And then
yes.
that's a beautiful.
That's a bit. So yes, to answer your question, yes, there is. This is something new, but in the recent past, we have seen that kids are opting for newer avenues as professions, and I think aquascaping is one of them, and it pays pretty well if you know how to do a good aquascape.
Yep.
It's not something which is run of the mill, and people are ready to pay anything for a good aquascape.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rahul. It was a amazing experience coming to Talwar Farms. I just want to ask, like, I'm sure that looking at this video, there will be somebody who will coming at, yeah, can I just go to this farm? Where is this farm? So
definitely,
yeah, where do
happy
we?
to welcome kids and hobbies for a tour. Come have a look at us. It is very important for hobbies. We all know as hobbies that we want healthy fishes. Healthy fishes survive. They have no infection. Come and have a look at how we're growing our healthy fishes, how healthy they are, how happy they are.
Absolutely.
These then make way to the aquarium shops and hobbyists. When I as a hobbyist used to buy fish in bulk, it was a given rule that 10 to 15 to 20% of
Mortality.
it will be mortality. Our fishes, which we have supplied to aquariums nearby, have had zero mortality.
Wow.
So
that speaks about the health.
About the health.
Yeah.
So yes, welcome. Anybody who wants to come and visit Talwar Farm, please give us a heads up, and we'll be happy to organize a tour for you. It's a nice place to be. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just after there's a tube well as well. You can take a dip inside it. I did that, and it was fun. So
yes.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Rahul. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thanks for coming to us.
Thanks for swinging to Aquascaping Lab, and we'll definitely look forward for probably a workshop kind of thing for our
I
kids
look forward
here.
to that.